Is it running?
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
All right, guys. Hi, guys. Just wanted to reach out to you, and this is Roger Castle Jr., Roger Castle Sr. from Missionville Football Club. Just reaching out and talking about our friend Shawn Watts. I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, this is Roger Castle Sr. We met Shawn when he was with another girls club, and the girls team that he had also was a finalist, league finalist, Surf Cup, young girls team. And but the one thing that was impressive about Shawn, he can coach, and he has a knack of coaching boys and girls, and we didn't know that. So anyway, we talked to him very briefly, and he was looking for a challenge as far as going into boys soccer. So he joined us, and at the same time, he emerged as the varsity coach at El Toro High School, which was actually, for us, was one of our number one opponents. So Shawn joined us, but the one thing I've learned about Shawn and I liked about him was there's so many people in this area with a resume as long as their arm, but when they get out on the field, you realize that it's just a resume. And but what I like about Shawn, his words to us was that he wasn't going to bring a team. He so many coaches in this area you get that knock on your door, and the only reason why you hire them is because they come with a lot of paying players. Shawn came with nothing, and he said that he didn't feel that taking the teams away from other clubs, he wouldn't want to do that, and he didn't certainly want to do it with us, and we didn't want him to do it. So anyway, we gave him what we thought was a fairly decent team. It was not what it ended up at, and Shawn actually had picked up a team for us. And it had only 8 players at the time. And I remember going to a meeting with him, and his presentation to the parents was very straightforward, and he made a lot of promises. So anyway, after that, he went to work and put a team together that I thought was not possible. And they were national champions at the end of his reign. But what I liked about what he did was he involved 3 or 4 coaches at our club to help with the preparation. And when he stood up for his acceptance speech, he mentioned that. Very few guys do that. They're very happy to take the accolade. So that set us on the right track with Shawn. And as far as I'm concerned, what I like also about Shawn, he's a good guy to get along with. Oh, he's going to get it done. Believe me, he is going to get it done. But what I like about him is he doesn't mix business with pleasure. Some guys do that. But as far as getting back to resumes and people saying whether he's played at a good level, that he's coached at a good level, that he knows exactly what he wants. And if anybody can't see that, the resume doesn't nix that. My thing with us was, if you're in this business, you usually take the resume and somebody's speech and so on and so forth with a grain of salt. But you put them on the field, and that's when they do the talking. And as from my perspective, we've built this club, and we're in the Shark Tank in Southern California. And I think one of our low points for me with our club was when Shawn decided with his wife and his family that they were going to move from California. And we've struggled to, not necessarily to replace Shawn, but you do realize what you had when you don't have it. So if anybody, wherever he goes, is questioning whether he has done what he said he's done, whoever that is, obviously doesn't know anything about soccer. Because if you look at this guy at work and don't realize he's top notch, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be in this business. So I don't want to sound bitter. It does bother me a lot when I hear of guys like Shawn, that obviously wherever he goes will be surrounded by people that are jealous of him because he's very good. And the one thing I also like about him was, and the reason why I've been around this a long time and seen a lot of coaches that talk a good game, but Shawn and I have remained friends with my son and my family off the field. And I always feel that's born out of dealing with people that know what they're doing. If anybody's questioning this guy as to whether he has been where he said he's been, and questioning whether he can do what he says he can do, from my perspective, he can do it. He'll get it done. And I can tell you for a fact, when I talked to Shawn and he was talking about joining the surf where we were at the time, I talked to Brian Engie, who's the president of Surf Inc. And I told him that if you want somebody that's just going to go through the motions, or do you want somebody that's going to build a program and produce players and get things done? If you want somebody that just sits in the middle of the road and plays politics, don't take Shawn. But if you want somebody that's going to do the job for surf, bearing in mind that was a big responsibility, take Shawn. And they did. So my thing for doing this is, first of all, it's nothing to do with the fact that I like Shawn. I respect him as a coach. I respect the fact that he's not, I call a Pied Piper, some guy that's wandering around with a bunch of kids on his back. He's a true coach, and he needs to be encouraged to do what he wants to do. And I think if wherever he's at, if you allow a person like this, if you give them the license to do what they want to do and do what they can do, you'll win every time. So that's all I got.